to the Sahara show because you don't even want to know what the fuck you know. Yeah, and I go on Sahara show and no one know what the fuck's gonna go on. The Sahara show. Nobody knows.
I'm gonna do my Jennifer Coolidge Christopher Walken.
Yeah. That was really good.
Okay, hold on. I'm doing good. Oh, what?
I think you nailed that.
I think it was just some sounds.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Now, did you edit throughout this? Like, cut out the parts that are boring?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I'd love
I
to
edit,
just have
like,
a
sometimes
boring
I'll do,
moment.
like, fun zoom-ins, like, I'll just kind of do the parts that are, like, the most funny and put them together.
So much less pressure. I'm really feeling boring for about 5 seconds here while I open
That's
this.
why I'm like, this is not a podcast, okay? The whole thing's fucking interesting.
The whole thing. These are really yummy.
Because when I tell people, like, about my show, they're like, yeah, so it's like a podcast. And I was like, no.
Not really.
It's not really the same thing. I mean, you could frame it that way. Oh, yeah. I'm supposed to be asking more questions. I guess it is a podcast.
Now I feel like I'm on a podcast, which I'm not because it's not a podcast.
No, this is not a podcast.
This is fun.
Tell me about your dating life.
Oh my god, my dating life is so fun right now.
Okay, I want to hear about it.
So, okay, backstory.
Mm-hmm.
When I moved here a year and a half ago,
a
little over a year and a half ago, I had a double breakup. So I had a long-term partner of 3.5 years, and then I also had like another partner who I'd been with for like a year.
Yeah.
And I broke up with both of them to come here. And so it was like not just one hard breakup, but 2 really hard breakups.
But you were just kind of like, bye, Felicia's.
I was like, no, it's so hard. I was like, I got to go to Vancouver to do some really important work on me. And
that's really brave.
It was so scary.
Yeah, that's really brave to do that.
Especially because like I lived in a house with my long-term partner and we had a dog and we had art on all the walls.
You could just like stay there forever.
I could. And I was like so well loved by this person and it was like quite tender. And my other partner too was a sweetheart. And they're both still friends of mine, but I had to like go off on my own. And a big part of like going off and doing my own thing was being like, I got to be single.
Yeah.
So then I said, I'm going to go and I'm going to be single for at least 1 year, at least. And I was like, oh, it's going to be so hard to be single for a year. Oh my God. Oh, the women will be clamoring. They'll be coming up like, let us in, they'll say.
Well, you're going to be like, how am I going to like keep all these people away from me?
In Vancouver?
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to be all over me, I thought.
Yeah.
Then I got here and turns out I was pretty sad about the breakups. And so it was pretty simple to be single for a year. And then it became a year and it was November and I was like, all right, I'm ready. I'm open to the possibility of dating. And so then I was really ready for the knocks on my door. Turns out it was actually pretty simple to not be dating and nobody really wanted a slice.
I hate when that happens.
I was like, okay, kind of weird that you guys don't want me.
I actually don't think that's what it is. I think that guys in Vancouver, like people in Vancouver, women in Vancouver, I think everyone's just like shy. Like I don't think it's that they're not into you. That doesn't make sense.
I mean, that doesn't track.
It doesn't track. It's like not historically accurate.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense.
So I think it's actually their problem.
Okay, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
And thank you for that.
Yeah, I just think it's probably something you haven't thought about.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. No one cares about what goes good in people's life. I want to hear about the atrocious date.
Okay, so first of all, this person we went to this bar and we ordered these like really strange cocktails. And he was wearing a hat, and so anytime, and it was like the cup was really weird, so he had to leave it. He couldn't like pick it up to drink it. It had to sit. So every time that he would go to sip it, he would go down to sip, and his hat would cover his face in the glass, and I would just lose him every time he was sipping. And I was like, okay, strange. You know what I love in a man? To be older than me. Simply, and a woman. Be older than me.
My boyfriend now is the first guy I've dated that's younger than me. He's 1 year younger than me.
Okay, so he's not really younger than you.
That's still younger.
That's true.
But I've always dated people like the exact same age as me, pretty much.
Oh, have you never gone up?
I think the up I've been is like just a couple years.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But there is something like when I was like 3 years ago, I dated this mom who was 17 years older than me, and she was also a mother of 2.
Wow.
And you know how I met her is I was teaching her kid improv.
That's so funny.
And there was something wild about that 17-year age gap, and she was like a full adult and a mother, and I loved it.
I think that like dynamic would make me uncomfortable. Like I think for me, I'm like, okay, there is like something alluring about it, but it's also uncomfortable for me because I feel like I'm afraid of like this like imbalance of power.
Yeah.
And I feel like what I like about dating people the same age as me is I feel like we understand like all the same cultural references, like our kind of like cultural like zeitgeist is like exactly the same. So I feel like I can just like click a lot easier. Whereas,
Yeah,
like,
totally.
People older, I feel like I'm like, it's not like I can't connect to them, but then they'll say something that's so old, and I'm just like, I get the ick a little bit.
Fair enough. Oh, fair enough.
When they're just
I know
like,
what you mean.
Oh, like I feel like okay, it's like I feel like everyone's dad when they're like using the debit machine, they're like, what's going on? It's like something like that. I just be like, oh. Even if they're like really hot, I'd just be like, oh.
Okay, editor's note here. I'm sounding quite ageist, which maybe I am. No, I'm not. Wait, what was I gonna say? I specifically started recording because I wanted to say something. Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, I get the ick when people do old stuff, but one day when I'm old, I'm gonna be into that stuff too, and people younger than me probably think I'm old, so you know, oldness is in the eye of the beholder, so I guess yeah.
This has got to be a preference thing. There's something hot about them having an older body.
I think their older body is hot, but I don't know. It's just like too much like, oh, dating my professor, like, you know.
Yeah,
like,
but doesn't that sound so cool, dating your professor?
I don't know. It just like, I don't know how to do that without feeling like they're like grooming me.
You know what? You're saying fair points, and I'm hearing them, and yet I'm still like, but it seems kind of cool.
I feel like I'm like too woke to the point where it's like I can't get like a little crazy. I can't get like a little zany. I can't get like a little bit like saucy, and like I want that for me.
You're
but
too
like
woke.
I also know my boundaries, and it's like it's just not for me.
It's hard to be so woke.
Here's my thing. It's like I don't like being people's entertainment, like in romantic relationship. I like them being my entertainment.
So you're looking for a manic pixie dream girl.
Yeah.
And I am
my manic pixie dream girl.
He is such a manic pixie dream girl.
He actually kind of is. He's a Gemini too, so.
Oh, happy birthday.
Kind of like gets wacky. It's kind of like random. You'll do like these little voices, you know, and I like
Oh my God,
I like
so
just
cute.
sitting back and laughing.
Yeah, do another dance for me.
Yeah, do another dance. Do a little this, do a little that.
Yeah, fair
and
enough.
Like that's just what I like.
Yeah. So you just need a break. Whereas I don't think I get tired of performing. I want to do the jig.
Maybe I'll change.
Well, no, you don't have to.
Maybe I'll change. Oh, I'll be just like you. I'll be just like you.
We have to be the same.
We have to be the same. Well, thanks for coming on my show.
Oh, absolutely.
I just noticed there's like a lot of ants on this table.
Oh God, there really is.